The Summer I Turned Pretty. Gavin Casalegno reveals if Denise will still be with Jeremiah in the movie, exclusive. What does Gavin Casalegno think is to come for Jeremiah's love life in The Summer I Turned Pretty movie? In the Season 3 finale of the hit Prime Video series, the younger Fisher brother started up a fling with Denise, Isabella Briggs, a work friend whom he'd been living with in Boston. The kiss between Jeremiah and Denise seemed to throw both of them off, but was also a natural segue after Denise lauded her roommate as a 10, and encouraged him to stop comparing himself to Conrad, Christopher Briney. Now that there's a continuation locked down for the characters, Prime Video confirmed that the story will officially conclude with a movie, which author Jenny Han will direct and write, alongside her co-showrunner, Sarah Cook-Circa. There's also a question of what Jeremiah and Denise's future might look like in the next installment. That's a good question, Casalegno, 26, tells people about whether Denise could make a return in the movie. I don't know if I've thought too much about that. I think it's a little early for Jeremiah to be jumping back into a relationship, Casalegno admits, referring to his engagement to Belly, Lola Tongue, and their almost wedding. Obviously they've been living together for a little bit, and you spend a lot of time with that person, but genuinely I think it might be too early for that. But who knows? Casalegno quips. I don't write it, so I don't know. The romance between the former co-workers was definitely a surprise for Casalegno, who says he did not see that coming whatsoever. When I got the script where things were starting to switch, actually, Hun told me it was coming around episode 6 and I was like, holy frig, he recalls. I did not see it coming. But it was so great, he adds of their moment in the finale. Yeah, that was a curveball for me too. It was fun. It was good. Sean Kaufman, who plays Steven and initially tried to explore a romantic connection with Denise earlier this season, was not as surprised by the twist. I think I knew pretty early on, he tells People. While his focus was more on Steven and Taylor, Rain Spencer being endgame, my hope always was that Steven and Taylor end up together by the end of the season, he says. Kaufman, 25, says that some seeds were sown in earlier episodes for Jeremiah and Denise's ending. While we were shooting some of those office scenes earlier in the season, there were just sometimes certain lines and certain stuff that I think fans will look back on and realize there's kind of a vibe, he reveals. I think they kind of skipped over it, which I think is the point, but looking back on it, there's certain stuff that never miss a story. Sign up for People's free daily newsletter to stay up to date on the best of what People has to offer, from celebrity news to compelling human interest stories. The Summer I Turned Pretty can be streamed in full on Prime Video. Prime Video's hit show The Summer I Turned Pretty officially wrapped its third and final season this month. And for those of us who have been fans of the books and the show, the end of Belly, Conrad and Jeremiah's years-long journeys inspired a lot of reactions. I was feeling all the usual emotions at the end of a show. Sadness, anxiety over whether I would be satisfied with the ending, and a burning curiosity to absorb any and all theories, fan edits and cast interviews online. It was during a pre-finale Instagram scroll that I saw the show's creator, and author of the books the series is based on, Jenny Han, confirmed that this isn't actually the end. A TSIP movie is in the works, with stars Lola Tongue and Christopher Briney already confirmed to return as Isabel, Belly, Conklin and Conrad Fisher. My stomach dropped at the news. Seriously. Is this what Susanna would have wanted? Before any well-meaning fans start drafting angry emails to send me, I want to say that, of course, this is not objectively bad news. But a follow-up movie introduces a strong possibility that all of the good the show has accomplished will be undone, and we'll never get back what we had. So much of what I've loved about SIP is its community of online fans. Especially for Season 3, which had weekly episode drops, fans like me got to theorize, meme and laugh together over the show. As a Gen Z girl who grew up after the boom of weekly network television, I can't help but relate it to stories I've heard from older friends and family about sitting around a couch every Thursday night to watch Friends. The show was a weekly occurrence my friends and I looked forward to, something that got us through rough work weeks and let us travel to Cousins Beach, where the biggest problem was the percentage of cacao in a wedding cake. SIP achieved the near impossible in a fragmented, online-driven streaming industry. It grew to be a mainstream success beyond fans of Han and its books. It sparked weekly entertainment and online discourse, similar to the award-winning The White Lotus. Its series finale that aired last Wednesday should have been its shining moment, its highest peak. Instead, it was overshadowed by all the movie news. I know the movie news loomed over my experience watching the final episode. All of the things I wanted to see in the finale but didn't. All four Conklins together, Stephen, Taylor and Denise in their new jobs, a final Susanna flashback, were likely loose ends left to be tied up in the movie. It was frustrating to realize I would have to wait, but likely wouldn't have had to if the show were ending, as had been promised for months. It's also hard not to look at this movie cynically as a cash-grabbing scheme for Prime Video. SIP has been one of its top-performing TV shows for years, so the idea of extending the story seemingly has a certain Monopoly Man, $ appeal for the streaming service. Why should Prime Video care if the movie destroys the canon if it gets to keep raking in the cash? This leads to a question I'm sure is on most fans' minds. What exactly is this movie going to be about? We've nearly run out of plot set forth in the book, but Han has deviated from the original inspiration before. Han said on the Today Show that the movie won't be here this year or next year. Bryony and Tung told Teen Vogue they hope the movie will bring happy, healthy versions of their characters. There's a certain appeal to this after watching Conrad Fisher suffer for 3 straight seasons, but why not just extend the final episode to incorporate more of that? The final episode was perfect, but I doubt anyone would have minded if it was longer than its runtime of nearly 80 minutes. So please like, comment, share and please subscribe my channel.